This morning we're driving from Teanau up to Mount Cook, and it's quite a long drive. It's going to be about a 5-hour long drive, and we've seemed to have picked a good day for doing the long drive because it's absolutely tipping it down here today. And actually the forecast for the next couple of days isn't all that brilliant. So when we get to Mount Cook, the forecast certainly today is going to be wet, and then tomorrow, which is our one full day at Mount Cook, it's a forecast for showers. So yeah, I'm hoping that when it says showers it means there might just be the odd gap in between, because actually for mountains I really like it when you've got that kind of broken weather, the odd bit of broken cloud and some rain. But I think this also goes to show that actually for landscape photography, I think it's easy when you watch a lot of vlogs and things to think that all these photographers go out and they always have perfect weather and it's always amazing, but either Hannah and I have incredibly bad luck, or I think maybe some people just only show the good stuff or when it's good. So yeah, I think it's quite nice in a way to show on video, but actually a lot of the time we come out to these places and the weather's pretty dire, and you just kind of have to make most of it. But I think also that can benefit in many ways because it forces you to be a bit more creative, and often, you know, a lot of the shots you'll see of a location are taken in good weather conditions, and sometimes the more interesting shots are taken when the weather's a little bit worse. So anyway, we've got the long drive ahead of us. It's about a 5-hour drive today up to Mount Cook, and we're actually going to be stopping off on the way up there. So we got in touch with there's a New Zealand photographer called Ewan Dunsmuir, who also has a YouTube channel, which you should definitely go and check out, because there's a channel that we watched quite a bit of before we came out here to New Zealand, because it was giving us some inspiration before we came. But he's a fantastic photographer. He does a lot of most of his stuff is done with a large format digital camera, and his photographs are absolutely amazing. He's actually, like me, originally from the north of Scotland, so we really wanted to meet up with him whilst we were here, and it just so happened our itineraries are sort of corresponding. We're sort of passing each other. He's driving south whilst we're driving north, so we're going to try and rendezvous halfway and hopefully grab a coffee with him as well. We caught up with Ewan at a town called Mossburn, about an hour's drive from Teanau. It was really great to meet up with a fellow photographer, and Ewan shared some top tips on places to photograph around Mount Cook, as well as a few of his other favourite locations to photograph in New Zealand. Ewan specialises in fine art landscape photography using a medium format camera, and his demonstration of quality achieved using a medium format camera really inspired us. Medium format is a little beyond our range at the moment, but perhaps this is something that we can aspire to in the future. After leaving Ewan, we continued our journey back past Queenstown and began to head north towards Mount Cook National Park. As we approached Mount Cook itself, the weather started to clear a little, but our hope of clearer weather that evening quickly disappeared. So we've made it up to our hotel up here by Mount Cook, and as you can probably tell from the view behind me, which Mount Cook should be right about there somewhere, the weather's really closed in, and actually the drive north after meeting up with Ewan, the weather seemed to clear quite a bit, and we were really quite hopeful we'd get some more photography done this evening, but just as we got into the head of the valley, it really closed in and it's really quite wet up here. So I'm not sure it's gonna get any better. There's maybe the chance that it might clear up a bit over the next hour or so, just before sunset. So we'll keep half an eye on it, and if it does, then we'll be ready just to get the cameras out and hopefully get a few shots. But I think my plan, unless it gets much better, is probably just to call it a night, maybe not take any photographs this evening, and just hope that the weather's a bit better tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to get some better shots. But we had a really nice drive up here, and it was really nice to meet Ewan as well. Definitely go and check out his website. I'll pop a link in the description below, but he's a fantastic photographer. He's a professional landscape photographer, but he does an awful lot of, most of his work is done with a large format camera, and he was running through with us some of the sort of details of the difference it makes to use a large format a medium format over just a full frame DSLR, and it was really quite impressive, some of the stuff that he was showing us. But yeah, definitely go and check out his website. His photographs are stunning, and also check out his YouTube channel too. But for now, hopefully we'll have better conditions tomorrow, and we'll go and get some food, and yeah, hopefully we'll have some more photography coming up tomorrow. So this morning we both managed to drag ourselves out of bed and get down here to Tasman Lake, which was just maybe a 10-minute drive away from the hotel. And yeah, it was quite a struggle this morning. We probably left it just slightly too late for comfort. We had to basically run up this bit of a hill here, run up these steps. Didn't have time to film anything, didn't have time to put any filters on the camera. We literally just got to this spot here, just as the light was turning pink and hitting those mountains on the right hand side of this valley over here. I got here just in time to get the camera out and take some images. No time for anything else, but I think the images came out really well. I did a panoramic of a whole sort of valley vista as the light was good, and we had some rain coming down as well, so I think that worked really nicely. And then I've just been taking a few sort of snapshots of the mountain tops around here because it's just gorgeous. The sunrise, although Mount Cook itself, which is should be up behind me somewhere, the peak of Mount Cook itself is actually stuck in cloud, but that doesn't really matter too much because these other surrounding peaks are just utterly beautiful, absolutely amazing. And we had some pink clouds as the sun was coming up. It just turned some of those clouds pink. I just managed to sort of, I've been using the 24 to 105mm lens. Anna's got the telephoto, and I'm hoping she's managing to get some images as well with that. And I've just been sort of picking out the odd sort of mountain peak and taking the odd image. But yeah, this is quite some place. This is exactly what I wanted to come to Mount Cook for, this kind of scenery and this kind of light. When I was looking at forecast a couple of days ago, the forecast for this area was not good, and I thought, oh, well, you know, it's just going to be rainy all the time. But the quality of the light this morning is exactly what I wanted to come here for. It's utterly beautiful. It's just perfect. So, yeah, worth getting out of bed, worth the early morning exercise of running up that hill. And yeah, I think I'm pleased with some of these shots. Despite a promising start to the day, the weather soon closed in again. That afternoon we defied the rain and headed up the Hooker track towards Hooker Lake, where we should have had a great view from the bottom of the mountain. Sadly, it wasn't to be, and Mount Cook was completely lost in cloud. Despite the weather though, our spirits remained high, and we were so thankful that we managed to make the most of the break in the clouds earlier that morning. It's our last morning here at Mount Cook this morning, and we did actually wake up at about 5 o'clock this morning in the hope of it maybe having similar conditions to yesterday morning and getting out to do a little bit more photography, but it was absolutely tipping it down at 5, and yeah, we decided just to go back to bed because there was no chance of getting any photography done at all this morning. Visibility was very low, and it would have been a nightmare to try and get out this morning. So we went back to bed and had a bit of an easier morning of it, but actually the weather started just to clear up a little bit. We've got to check out of a hotel in about an hour, and I'm still clinging to hope that we might just get a little bit of a glimpse of Mount Cook before we go, because so far we've not seen the mountain at all since we arrived here. It's just been buried in cloud. But there's a few bits of blue up in the sky now, and I don't know, maybe it will start to clear as the morning progresses. Our plan today is to drive up to Christchurch, and we're going to spend our last couple of nights in Christchurch, staying with some old friends of mine. So today really, or this morning even, is really our last chance for photography here in New Zealand. So it's a bit of a shame this morning didn't work out, but I think probably what we'll do before we leave this area is we'll probably pop back to the spot we were at yesterday morning. If these clouds are a little bit higher, although we're out of golden hour now, and we'll certainly be out of golden hour by the time we get to that spot, I'm hoping that we'll still be able to take some nice sort of daytime shots from that area, and it's also going to be probably our last chance of actually seeing Mount Cook. So we'll head back there before we set off down the road, but fingers crossed the weather's going to be a little bit clearer as we drive towards Christchurch, and yeah, just looking forward to having a nice day. So after 2 days of rain here at Mount Cook, the weather has finally cleared, just as we're about to leave, and we've got to make our way up to Christchurch now. But before we do, we just wanted to come back to the spot where we were a couple of mornings ago. And even though it's the middle of the day, it's 12:25, probably the worst time of day for photography, it's still just gorgeous here, and it's absolutely worth coming. So Hannah and I are up here, got the cameras out, and we're just taking a few shots of the mountains here. And yeah, the weather now is just glorious. If only it had been like this a couple of days ago, that would have been amazing. But never mind, this is just how it goes sometimes with landscape photography. And Mount Cook is bidding us a fond farewell as we kind of call it a bit of a day, I guess, on our landscape photography trip around New Zealand. So yeah, this isn't a bad way to end. So that's it from us from New Zealand. It's time for us to get back to Christchurch. It's been a fantastic trip. Yeah, it's been great, even though we've had to put up with the odd little bit of, should we say, slightly wet weather. That's just landscape photography for you, and we've really enjoyed it here. It's a beautiful, beautiful country. And I think we've managed to get some nice images as well, as we've been going around. So anyway, if you've enjoyed these videos, then please do remember to hit the like button. Please do subscribe to the channel if you've not subscribed already, and we'll see you next time.